Here we have a pre-owned 2011 Cadillac SRX. This one comes in the luxury trim level with front wheel drive and platinum ice tri-coat. And then we have shale leather interior. The powertrain consists of a 3-liter naturally aspirated V6 engine, made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission. And this one almost has 103,000 miles, like 102,895, I think. But coming around to the front end here, love that look. We have our halogen headlamps, nice LED signature lights there. Just a great overall look in my opinion, especially for 2011. And then not a lot of road rash on the front bumper here at all. And for this to be a 12, 13-year-old car, seems to be in great shape. But down here we have 18-inch aluminum wheels. And there is just a little bit of fading around the wheels themselves. Could probably be refinished relatively easily. You wouldn't have to replace the whole wheel. But we get passive keyless entry on the front 2 doors. Love the door trim look, especially that shale. And you have the black and then that fake wood grain there looks very nice. And then over here we have our power mirrors, so you can pick left side, right side, or offset there and adjust and turn the mirror, or you can hold down here and then you can power fold them back and forth. So a pretty neat feature. And then you have one-touch automatic up and down windows on the front, and then just express down windows for the back. Rear window lock here. Storage, bottle holder, and then we have our power liftgate control. We can set that to 3/4 up or max, or we can turn it off so the button doesn't do anything. But as you can see, this one's still, the liftgate seems to be in great shape. Working just fine, no creaking or anything. Headlamp controls are here, that's on, corners, auto, and then you can turn the auto mode on and off by doing that. Brightness for the gauge cluster can be adjusted there. And then down here, hood latch. And we do have a manual tilt telescope steering wheel, so we just release this so we can adjust. But there's our power driver seat with power lumbar support. And then we do have memory seat settings, so you can have 2 settings set up, hit memory, and then just hold the one you want to set it to. And then you do have manual thigh support as well. But I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So let's check out this rear seat space. So not terrible room. I could probably scoot the seat back a little bit more, but my knees will definitely still be touching the back of the seat a little bit. But again, not terrible, especially if I can sit like this. But netted seat back pockets on both sides, little storage tray there, rear AC vents, 12 volt, and then little storage tray down in there as well. And then our middle seat folds down, cup holders there, additional storage. I just slammed my finger. And then you can open this up and run smaller objects through the middle without folding the whole seat down. So I like that you have that compatibility. And then grab handle here, you can either hang a plastic hanger or maybe 2 metal hangers on that hook there. But let's make our way towards the back. So as we get to the back end here, again, still looks very nice for 2011. And then we just have a few oopsie daisies there. I don't know why it's the first word that came to my head, but whatever. And while that's coming up, look underneath the vehicle. Dual exhaust system. Tons of space behind the second row. And then additional storage there. And then we can have things that we don't want to get away from us, but we want to keep in the trunk there. And I like that this is Velcro. You can just stick it back on there. And then a 12 volt here. And then the same storage on this side as well. So pretty neat. And then you do have a cargo shade if you want to use that too. But coming around to the fuel cap, just click that in. Cap is there. And then to the rear passenger side, if you want to fold the seat flat, pull up here. And then when the front seat's up far enough, you can just, being a little tough, you can fold that flat and you run longer objects there. And then pretty easy to just snap it back into place. And then to the front passenger side, we do have power with power lumbar support there as well. Lockable glove compartment. And this one still has the owner's manuals. And a huge shout out to Cadillac of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this SRX today. I'll leave a link below too in the description. But here's the original sticker there. You all can pause anywhere you want to get a closer look. But tons of options on this luxury and still pretty expensive back then, $40,130. So that's interesting. But again, the styling for 2011, even today, doesn't seem dated. It just has a very nice, classy look to it. But there's that 3-liter V6. And let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat here. So nice leather wrap steering wheel here with the wood grain top. I love the finish here on top of that steering wheel. We do get, I believe, an 8-speaker Bose sound system. But to the radio, we're gonna go ahead and go back. So this is our kind of home page here, and all that's based on what setting you click here. And I like how the system's set up. So if I go to the band, so radios here, XM, AM, FM, I kind of have a view of what's going on here, and it's still showing me my temperature up there for the AC, and as I adjust that, it'll go ahead and show you the change right there. So that's pretty cool. And we have our presets down here. We can go through all of those depending on where we are, and I can adjust those. So if I go to XM, I can go ahead and adjust my new preset there. And then tons of shortcuts here. So CD players right there, favorites, it'll take you just right back to your radio station favorites, and then I can go through the bands here, aux input, info, and then you can go through your tone here, and then just hit select, and you can adjust treble, mid-range, and bass, along with other options. But child lock is here, electronic child lock is right there, unlock, lock, hazards, and we have a clock here, and then tune knob, volume, we can mute by clicking that. And then we can configure our settings here. And then from there, I can adjust time and date, radio settings, vehicle settings, and that's where everything is here. And I apparently have a little assistant that is following everything I'm doing. Gotta love the summer. But anyways, fan speed can be adjusted here. You can toggle the whole system on and off there, auto mode there, and to turn that off, just adjust fan speed. And then we can change the zones there, defrosters, and this can control where the airflow is coming from. And then we do get 3-stage heated seats for the driver, front passenger. Right in here, we have a little storage pocket, and then a shifter. Hit the lever, reverse, neutral, drive, then come over here and you can manually shift. And an electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Then we have traction control toggle, parking sensor toggle, cup holders here, and then center console cubby space has an aux input and USB port along with a 12 volt. And you can use that aux and USB to go ahead and run music off of. While the sunroof shade's going back, that's our backup camera there. It's black and white, small picture, but it's great to have that there. Again, for a 2011 vehicle, not bad at all. Garage door transmitters here, dome light controls, reading lights, and then sunroof controls here. So that's for the sunshade. And we're about to one-touch slide this thing back. And pretty impressive how far back it goes. You hit it twice and it goes all the way back. So that's nice, very nice. Again, for 2011. But there's a view of the back seat. Then back to the steering wheel. Blinkers are there. And then we can go through our gauge cluster, that digital part in the middle. We can see all of that, and then hit this menu button, and then you can go in here and look at your actual vehicle info, and then we can change from US to metric, and your select button for all that's right here, and then you can scroll through everything here and then change those menus there. And that back left tire is giving me a little problem, but I should be all right for the test drive. And then high beams, on and off, you can flash there, and then you can flash them there by pulling up. And then we do have rain sense wipers, so that's one time, that's rain sense, and then low, high, and then we do have our rear wiper here, so intermittent, and then on, and then off right there in the middle. Pull up for the front wiper fluid, push back for the rear wiper fluid. And then we have our cruise control here. We can toggle that on and off. I like that it's like a button. And then set, resume, cancel. And we can change our audio sources here and then go through the radio station presets or track list depending on what source we're in there, and then volume, voice recognition, and then this also serves as a mute button when you're not in the phone mode. But there's the push button start, and I forgot to mention we do get adjustable pedals, so that's what this is for. It's a weird place to put it, but it's there. Again, nice to have. And there's our remote start key fob there. But now to the fun part. Let's go ahead and take this 102,000 mile 2011 Cadillac SRX out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this SRX, we seem to still have pretty good power output from the engine. Transmission's a little shaky to start out with. Just a rough downshift though. Now I have the fuel economy meter up here in the middle just to keep track of how good a fuel economy this gets on the interstate, but I want to put it in the sport mode. And then it shows us what gear we're in that bottom left-hand corner. So shifts are very responsive in the sport mode. Back in auto mode now, we're gonna turn the cruise on. We're gonna put it down to 72. We don't have anybody around us. And then let's see what kind of fuel economy we're getting. After it settles out, showing us 26. We're on a slight incline now, so it's going down to 24. And then as it starts to flatten back out, right around here, we should get a pretty solid number. So probably around 24, 25, good estimate. You could get better depending on how flat the road surface is. But I mean, all in all, ride quality is very nice. And road noise is pretty minimal. And this is a Cadillac, so that's what I expect from this vehicle, but still, it's a 2011. Pretty impressed there. And these are pretty solid cars. I think that's why they did so well selling, and a lot of people didn't like to see the XT5 replacing this, but I think it's done a pretty good job at replacing the SRX, but the SRX is still, so far, seems to be a decent car, even with it aging as it has. Now for this vehicle being as old as it is, I can't remember the exact price, I'll have to pull that up, but it's a good vehicle for the money, even with this kind of miles on it, I think, because it's a 6-speed automatic transmission and it's a 3-liter naturally aspirated V6, so you don't have to worry about a lot of the more modern technology that is involved in servicing some of the newer vehicles. We'll give it some throttle here. But it's nice to have heated seats. It's nice to have the Bose sound system, power folding mirrors if you're worried about somebody taking your mirror off while you're parked. And we have standard cruise control, parking sensors. Definitely, if this was your dream car 10 years ago, 12 years ago, and you can finally buy one, it's in your budget, this is a pretty good option because, again, it still feels like a Cadillac. And it doesn't have all the extra features that a lot of people who are in the market for something like this don't necessarily want or need, like adaptive cruise control, lane centering, all of that. Having a big screen right here. Some people just they're just old school like that, I guess. But I mean, can't say enough about how good the ride quality is. And again, this has almost 103,000 miles on it, and still rides good, drives well. We had that mishap downshift, I think, when we first got it on the road, but other than that, haven't had any issues. Now, it's definitely not a sports car. I will say in the sport mode, though, it's pretty fun to drive, and it's pretty capable there. But I mean, back in 2011, these were pretty coveted vehicles. They had so much going on for them. All this newer technology and just very nice looks for a luxury brand. But I'll leave a link in the description below if you're interested in purchasing this. Otherwise, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2011 Cadillac SRX Luxury.